The Calgary Flames are in a perfect position and all is going according to plan at this moment. Now, usually on the channel, we talk about the immediate need of the Flames, who they need to trade away, who they need to sign, and that sort of thing. But one writer has revealed some more long-term plans for Calgary in the form of how much better or worse they have gotten this offseason. We're going to break it all down, but first I want to welcome you to Flames Digest. I'm Mark Griffith. If you're new around here and you love the Flames, make sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date on all the latest news, updates, reports, and rumors revolving around your Calgary Flames. We would love to welcome you to the Flames Digest family. Now, we all know the long-term plan is a rebuild, but not everyone talks about it in that way. So let's talk about how it is all going to plan. I think it's pretty obvious at this point that Craig Conroy's plan is to do an actual rebuild. I think he's made that clear through the trades he has made, not only at the trade deadline, but in the offseason, as well as, through the draft, actually keeping those draft picks and then drafting young studs. Holy, I'm still so hyped about that draft, even though it's well over a week ago now, pretty much 2 weeks. But either way, it's all really going to plan. The plan is to rebuild, to just completely reconstruct this whole roster and then build it from the ground up. Kind of like what Jonathan Huberdeau was talking about in his comments from the video yesterday about what happened in Florida. They kind of built it from the ground up and won the cup. We want to do the same thing here. But like I said before, a writer has somewhat revealed the long-term plans. We know it's already a rebuild, but he really shows that the Flames are going to be bad and the plan is to be bad. So let's hop into that with this article here from our boy Dom from The Athletic. He wrote, which NHL teams have improved the most this offseason, rating all 32 teams. If you think I'm going through all 32 teams, you are absolutely nuts. We only care about one here on the channel, and it is our beloved Calgary Flames. So in a way, this is just showing what teams, really have stepped up and are trying to win next season, become full contenders, go all out kind of thing, and which teams have struggled through free agency and I guess some of the offseason as well. I'll let you know right now, I think the lowest rated team was Winnipeg. They lost so many players and they added I think Kaapo Kakkonen or something. They are definitely going to regress. But where do the Flames fall in that? 1 to 32, put your guesses in now. Oh, it was 25th. 25th. Now, a lot of people will say 25th, the Flames are really that bad. They didn't get much better. The plan is not to get better for this season. So they have actually saved $4 million in cap space. Their additions have been Anthony Mantha, Kevin Ball, and Jake Bean, and some key departures here of Andrew Mangiapane, Jacob Markstrom, of course, and Oliver Shillington noted as a key departure. One thing I quickly wanted to show here as an update was this tweet. So Boomer on Barn Burner today said that he heard that Shillington turned down a 2-year deal from the Flames. The Shillington situation is weird. I know a lot of Flames fans are pretty PO'd at the guy after, the organization really did try to help him out and we stuck with him. We got him back to where he needed to be. Well, let's give him some credit. I think Shillington got himself back to where he needed to be and was smart to do the things he needed to do. But it is kind of a stab in the back for him to walk away from this. Is it fully his fault? No, I think the Flames maybe didn't offer exactly what he was looking for. It is always a business, and we always say that from the side of a franchise. Oh, it was a business decision. Often we don't talk about that from a player standpoint. We call it selfish and whatnot. Either way, the Shillington situation is interesting. I'm not thrilled with the guy, but that being said, I'm just glad he's back to a point where he's happy with his mental health. Hopefully he can get all of that sorted. But I guess it is noted that he is no longer a Calgary Flame. But if we get back into the actual plans here, the juice of the video, the meat and bones, the Flames just completed the next phase of their teardown and the team looks ready to net a high pick next season because of it. Trading away Markstrom leaves Calgary with some awfully questionable goaltending unless Wolfie takes a big leap in the majors. And the loss of Andrew Mangiapane makes the team's top six much less threatening. Everything is going according to plan here. There you go. Everything is going according to plan here. Flames are in a perfect position to, I don't want to say tank, but honestly, the Flames are going to be bad and should get a very high pick next season, and they should be able to keep it as long as Florida doesn't also absolutely stink. So either way, the Flames, it's all going according to plan here. The long-term plans genuinely are to just absolutely rot at the bottom of the standings and collect more high picks. I'm not saying that's the most, enjoyable thing here, and it does suck to watch your team suck, but sometimes that just is what is necessary to see a team truly succeed. We always talk about how the Oilers had a bunch of first overall picks. No one talks about the Florida Panthers and how many times they picked super high in the draft, kind of in those early 2010s, and they really did build such an amazing roster. So you can kind of take their model. I know Conroy has compared it to the Stars, getting, a bunch of players in one draft. Hopefully that will happen with this past draft we just had, and really he can say it was a full success. But either way, things are going to plan here. The long-term plan is to stink and then be really good. It is just a true rebuild. Is that what is fully being revealed here? Is that brand new? No, of course not. I think it's just easier for many Flames fans to accept that that is the truth now. Let's get into the next part of this video, which has to do with the first part, and it just has to do with, are we really bad enough? Like, how bad will we be next season? Is it really going to go according to plan, or are we a little bit too good? Because let's face it, the Flames, they play in what is currently the worst division in the NHL. There are some teams worse than the Flames in this division. You look at the San Jose Sharks, they absolutely stunk last season. Same with the Anaheim Ducks. Seattle wasn't all that great. But either way, I think the Flames, they could be pretty bad next season. I mean, Markstrom is a huge departure. If the Flames didn't have Markstrom last season, I don't know where they would have finished in the standings. Maybe gotten Celebrini. I kind of doubt it. San Jose was that bad. But either way, the Flames could be worse than Anaheim this season. I can't imagine them being better than any of the teams that were above them in the standings. I know they finished level with Seattle, but I don't know. Seattle's kind of more of a mushy middle team than the Flames are. But either way, I guess the way that we'll kind of describe this or find out together, delve into it, is to see how bad we really are. Now, Jonathan Huberdeau, here are his comments once again from yesterday. I apologize if you can hear the dog. He's excited about Hubie. But either way, we can get into the playoffs even if everyone sees us as the underdogs, is what Huberdeau said. And I don't know about that, Johnny Huberdeau. I really don't know. You can read the rest of the quote there. You can go back to yesterday's video to go over more of it. But Huberdeau thinks they can make the playoffs. Personally, after looking at the roster, I might think otherwise. Here are the forward lines as they stand of right now. Obviously, they will be pretty different once the season starts, but we've got Mantha in there now. We've got Lomberg in there. I don't know. This team looks like they may struggle to score goals. More than 3 a game, maybe, but probably not. On average, of course. I hope there are games where the Flames score 3 or more goals. But either way, I don't think this is one of the most elite offenses in the NHL, and it could see them go towards the bottom of the standings. Now, if we look at the defense, same kind of thing here. There's some good players, of course, especially Weegar. I mean, he's great offensively. We'll see who kind of makes the team out of camp as well with some of the younger guys sort of thing. But again, this defense doesn't seem great offensively, and it doesn't seem great defensively. And they will have to be great defensively if the Flames do want to win, because if we look at the goalies here, as we know, Dustin Wolf, Dan Vladar, it'll be interesting to see how they play. We're waiting for Wolfie to take it to that next level, but at the same time, if we're going to be bad, we don't want to just hamper his development and confidence. So I'm sure Vladar will play a lot. We did, of course, also sign Devin Cooley. Maybe Cooley will come in and play quite a bit too, because I don't think he's really there in our long-term plans. The long-term plan is Dustin Wolf. So I genuinely think we will be that bad, and, the plan can go accordingly, and we will just hopefully not absolutely tank, at least not intentionally, but just be bad enough so that we really can build from the ground up, like the Florida Panthers proved you really, really can do. Now let's wrap up this video with the comment of the day, our favorite part of the day. And I've mentioned the video from yesterday many times, but it is a comment from the video about Jonathan Huberdeau, who kind of said some things about trade rumors, about his contract, about Florida winning the cup, just the situation in Calgary. And I think most people are kind of upset with what he had to say. But I thought this one here was a pretty realistic take on it from Flutters. He said his 85 assists in that 115-point season was an NHL record for a left wing. He was guaranteed a pay raise. Nobody could have predicted the drop-off he had. I hope he can turn it around, but I don't expect to see a 100-point Huberdeau again. If he can muster even 70 to 80 points, I think that would be the goal for him. And I do agree. I don't know if he'll ever have a 100-point season in a Flames uniform, at least not for a while. I think the team around him has to be a little bit better. Am I saying that, he's this absolute star and the people around him stink? No, he has kind of stunk too. We need him to step it up in order for that to be the case. But either way, I think this was a realistic but optimistic point of view on it. I know the super realistic point of view is that he has just totally underperformed. But either way, it'll be interesting to see how Huberdeau does do next season and if he will be a Flame for the rest of his contract. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe, like we saw here today, and have a wonderful rest of your day.